Welcome to elementary, Mondays at 6. So, please do excuse me today. I am still under the weather. However, the show must go on. So, how have you been? Hope you've had a fabulous day. And a little blustery was the way we started, but definitely a great day. Hopefully had a fabulous day, and I am inviting my guest who's going to join any minute now. So, and for all of you that join us, thank you. Thank you so much for spending your evening with us. And look at this
Hi, Jacqueline. Thank you.
beautiful, beautiful family that I'm interviewing today. I'm so excited. Um, and I'm I'm even more excited today because you guys are awesome. Of course, we have the star of the show who knows he's the star. And then we have
Yes, we have.
the brawn and the brain behind it, right? He's a
Yeah.
cutie. Benjamin, you are adorable. So
Say hi,
let's get.
Benjamin. Say hi.
Hi, Benjamin. Too cute. And someone's giving you lots of love. So let's get started. Introduce yourself and your Instagram handle. I think you just froze. Oh no. Oh no. So if you can hear me and if you're frozen, so just maybe come back into the live. And it doesn't matter if he's talking in the background. So for all of you watching, I hope you've had a fabulous Monday. Um, I've had a great Monday so far. Just getting better. Oh, but you're frozen on my screen. Doa Media, you're frozen. Oh, there we go. Let's see if this one works better. There we
Same
go.
way, right?
Awesome. Perfect. So I was
Awesome.
saying, let's get started. Tell us, introduce yourself and your Instagram handle.
Yeah, sure. So, well, my name is Johan De Olio, and my wife is Generica Costa. This little guy here is Benjamin De Olio Costa, and just landing the handle, that's what we went for. We are proud of our family business, and we name it De Olio Acosta Media, DOA Media.
Oh,
And yeah,
perfect.
just to talk a little bit about ourselves, we are a young couple of engineers, originally from Dominican Republic, and a short story, we landed in Canada in 2018, April 2018. Things are going well for our professional jobs, and now we are kind of in this entrepreneurial path, trying to launch our photography business. Um,
Perfect. Oops. Uh-oh. You froze again. Okay. I don't know if you can hear me, but I can keep talking. But I can't hear you, though. That's the difference. Yeah, I know sometimes I'm so sorry, but sometimes, on the best of days, we have the worst connections. And I'm not quite sure what it is, but sometimes it just happens. Uh,
okay, we changed device. I'm not sure what happened there. But
it's okay. It happens. Trust me, it happens more than you think. So Renaud
okay,
Cruz says,
we good?
they're the best. So I believe you. I believe you. So you were saying that you're a new service. Did so tell us about your services. What do you offer?
Yeah, so we are a one-stop shop of real estate agents, most of it. we offer photography service for listing media that includes ground photography, aerial drone footage, and that truly one-stop shop, including also 3D tours, floor planning, videos for your social media like reels that are coming very popular right now, cinematics, and more. So that covered, let's say, the packages we offer.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. I've seen some of your stuff, and it's a lot of attention to detail. We can touch on that as we go through. So, as a realtor, first impressions are everything in real estate, right? And in your experience, like how does your professional photography impact a buyer's like impression of the property? Like what do you take into consideration as the photographer?
Well, we know that first impression for potential buyers is typically the listing photos. That's why we are focusing on listing media. So, having said that, I would say that we have to be careful on choosing the people we work with. Photographers, professional photographers, particularly, what are trying to do is tell the story on how to showcase the property appropriately, so you can catch the attention of the buyers in a specific way where you are trying to get those sales points of the properties. So that's one thing.
I think that the other thing is it could be declaring the property.
Well, yeah, pre-prep the property accordingly for the pre-shoot and get things that we can discuss in upfront. But yeah, that's it. The focus is on listing media. That's the first impression that you can get from the buyers in the beginning when they see the photos of the property.
No, it's so important, right? I mean, I'll give you my experiences as such, and I'm a firm believer. If I have a good experience with a person, I'm going to share it because I feel like, um, um, yeah, like I feel like if I have a good experience with with the photographer. I want to share it to the whole world because I feel like, that's going to make or break what I put out there, right? And I have a brand and, I want to make sure I put out the best for my client, right? So it's so important. Let me ask you about lighting. Like lighting plays a crucial role in photography. Can you share some inside tips on how um, a property can be shown in the best light?
Absolutely. Yes. In terms of lighting, I think obviously the exposure theory in photography is the primarily item that you have to consider in terms of professional photography. And when you shoot at home, my suggestions will be try to make sure that all the lightings are turned on in the property. Make sure that all of them have the same tonality. Me and generic like that warm
Mhm.
color, warm tone. It's subjective, but at least try to all the lights be the same thing. Some tips that I could say is, and these are small details that make huge impact in the photography. For example, expose the windows. If your property has beautiful windows, uncover them. Try to allow all that lighting, natural light, coming to the property. If the windows have these horizontal tiles, a very useful tip is um, position the tiles 45 degrees aiming to the ceiling. That will allow the light, natural light, come into the ceiling and reflect and bounce back to all the areas of the property. That absolutely helps a lot, especially ourselves that we use a three bracketed exposure technique where we hand blend in a high dynamic range ADR, HDR, DR photo. With these lighting setups and all that exposure with the windows, we can allow to showcase the details outside the windows. Sometimes it's very, it is an attractive feature of a property, being able to see, I don't know, the ravine in the property, but
Mhm.
also everything indoor. So that's another one. If I come up with another one, let's say that in terms of lighting, the color that I love and I like is white because white reflects very well everything. So you can have like different soft boxes in a property if you have the right colors in the walls. It's awesome.
So I've in your portfolio, the details in each shot are impeccable. I've noticed I can tell the difference. Like I'm not like a photographer, but I can tell the difference when I'm looking at your portfolio. And what's your secret to capture? I know you've probably already given me some, but what's your secret to capture those fine details? Anyone can be a photographer, but to capture those details means like it brings out a whole different vibe. It's not just being, a photographer, especially for real estate, right?
Yes. Now, to be honest, details are this. The secret are in the small details. In small details like decluttering the house. You can imagine how impactful it is. It doesn't matter if the furniture, the staging is expensive, is in the high end, in the low end. If you have a full declutter and organized property, those shots are going to be amazing. And I would say that first, good organization and truly a good sense of spacing and how you position the objects of the property. So again, it doesn't matter how expensive is the home, how cheap is the home. It's about decluttering properly, organizing in a way that makes sense the space that you have available, small or big, right? And being able to showcase in a good story the property that we are shooting.
Yeah, and that's the key, right? Showcasing in a good story. I mean, I'll tell you, I offer for my homes, I'll offer as part of what I do. Um, I offer the professional cleaning, the organizing. Like the first thing you're going to see is an organizer. Professional organizing, helping you declutter, getting rid of some stuff, and taking a little bit of time in the front end of it, and also spending a little bit of money to do all of those things. But it really takes a good photographer to bring out all of that hard work. I can tell you there are days where I have the photographer come in and I'm very frustrated with what I get. So, and I've seen some of your shots and they're very, very good. So I'm excited for what you have to offer. Very, very frankly, I'm very excited for what you have to offer.
Thank you, thank you. I think just to add on top of that, probably real like you could have a good photography background in another niche, but when we go to real estate, people tend to add more complexity. But truly is good composition, straight verticals because you wanna show as big as much space as you can, right?
Yeah.
And obviously what we want to stand out more than the product itself. We feel comfortable offering a good product, but where we want to really stand out is in the service. We want to be able to work with the agents, provide a good service, make them feel that they have an extended arm of their team. So we are going to take care all of their needs, not just in terms of photography, but also in terms of their clients, right? Like the clients or our clients are truly our clients as well. So, it's not just the photography itself, it's also everything around that.
Yeah, absolutely. So virtual tours are becoming quite popular. Can you discuss, how you integrate this technology or to enhance the property listing?
Yes, maybe to provide a little bit of context around virtual tours, they become really, really popular and interesting in the real estate photography industry since COVID-19, because that was a straightforward and alternative for you to showcase a property in a distance, right? Like without any social interaction. So we have seen trends towards 3D tours in COVID. Now has a little bit slow it down. But what I think it truly adds value is we are now living in a global market, right? More and more we're seeing global transactions, and
Yes.
virtual tours is a great service, is a great solution to catch the attention and provide service and expand your customers coverage with this feature. You can close a transaction without a owner coming into the property physically, but you can literally showcase every single aspect of the property with the virtual tour.
Oh, true, very true. So, and that's the key, right? Like I found, sometimes during COVID, it was good to have virtual tours because that's kind of how we just continued business. And sometimes the virtual tours can be polarizing. Sometimes, people see it, but then don't show up. And then your client's like, hey, no one's coming to see this property. I said, yeah, because they looked at it online. And if it's something they want to look at further, they'll come. But, it's kind of one of those hit and miss things, right? But it's definitely, like you said, it gets more eyes, and maybe eyes that can't physically see a property can, take it in from a virtual tour. Now, real estate trends are always changing. And so, like, how do you stay ahead of these trends?
Honestly, like we are a young couple, right? We are always catching up with the technologies and upcoming trends. For real estate photography, real estate is an old industry. Really, there is no much of a secret around how the business is run. But what is truly changing is how quickly you can turn around your business implementing those technologies. And I'll give you an example. If you have a property to shoot and you spend so much time getting the flashes, adding those complexity to get that extra 25% of quality in a photo, probably you might be shooting just 1, 2 properties a day. But now we have the technique, for example, the technique that we use to get the shots from the property, because it's so simple to set up the camera in one point, compose, and have those 3 brackets, and then in the editing room with the technology and AI, hand blend it together and get a nice shot. It's not going to be as perfect as with the flashes, but good enough to be efficient in the process. And you can get away in shooting 6 homes in a day, to give you an example, right? So by implementing these new trends and technology, you can be more efficient and adding more productivity into your business. So I would say that it is a personal decision. You rather go for the extra quality version of the product, or you just want to go for the okay version. The eyes of the customer won't notice the difference, but your process, yes, will feel the difference, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's true. I mean, I'll give you an example. I had one shoot that I did, and I've used them before. So I was kind of a little surprised. I don't know what happened. They sent me a different photographer. The guy showed up, and first of all, he was late, so he messed up my whole plans. And then, so he couldn't come that time. He had to come a little later. And so I had to restructure the photography. And so we were like, okay, we'll do it in the evening. And, so I'm already losing a bit of light. And so he shows up in the evening. He's already rushed because he had to come back to the property. And and I was so upset. I was so upset because I'm a little bit of like, I like stuff to show up, right? In a certain, and for, like I did all this work, and if the photos are no good, like what am I doing all this work for, right? So I was like so upset because I was like, oh my God, when the photos came back, I'm like, oh my God, like, were you losing your eyesight? Because a blind person could even take better pictures. And I was like so thrown off. I had to redo the pictures again for this property. Of course, I went online with it, but then I just couldn't deal with it. I said, okay, I'm going to redo them, right? And my client was like, no, it's fine. I said, it's not fine for me. It's my brand, right? So we redid the pictures, and I had to pay, but it was a different story. Um,
Wow, no, so sad to hear. But
yeah,
that's why we are stressing that nowadays. I think our feeling is that service is going to take a more relevant than the photos itself. For example, that last week I was shooting for an agent, a property, and the agent did tell me in advance, this is going to be a difficult shoot because the property won't be ready. There is a tenant in the
Of
unit.
course.
So,
Yeah.
I hope you can understand. And to be honest, for me, it was absolutely great opportunity to showcase the level and the quality of the service that we can provide. We don't matter if it's going to be difficult something, as long as we can get there in the property, help you out moving stuff. Yes, it will take a while, it will take longer, but as long as we can serve and get that property the listing that it deserves, is something that we really love to do, because it will add more credibility to our jobs, not just a transaction. This is not just a photography.
Yes.
We want to also get that networking with the agents and that trust that they will be well taken care of with us.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. So every property has a story as we're talking. And how do you approach your photography to ensure that you've captured the unique characteristics of so the unique characteristics of the home can shine through?
Yeah, good question. Honestly, this is something that we have already studied. We are, as I mentioned before, I think we got caught with the first question, but we have an engineering background. Myself, I'm industrial engineer, processing engineer, and Generic is also a great project manager and engineer as well. So we truly design a process that will allow us room by room get that walkthrough experience through our photo session. So yes, it is a standard, but it's not 100%, repeatable in every single property, because every property has its own details. And for that, we try to communicate with the agents what are the key features that they want to include in the property, so we can integrate that into our workflow and try to create the best story only by photos, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, those are the questions I had for you today, but I do want to tell people where they can reach you. Um, I know I asked you kind of difficult questions, I must say. So thank you for taking time to answer them. But where can people reach you to get a hold of you?
Yeah, excellent. Thank you for also having us here. You can find us at doamedia.ca. That's our Instagram account. Right there, you have all our contact information. You can contact me personally using the 647-355-0065. And Generic is on mat leave. She will be joining the crew shortly in April. So you can find Generic as well, texting there in an administrative role as well.
Perfect. Perfect. And of course, it won't be long before Benjamin joins as well, right? We have to put
Well,
him to work. He's
hopefully,
too cute to not make him work.
hopefully he will, feel part of the business. The idea of doing that is also having that family atmosphere where we can do what we love, right? We like photography since a while. Now we are exercising as a business the photography, and hopefully, Benjamin can get something out of it.
That's good. That's good. It's his action plan. There you go. So, for those of you who spend your evenings with me on Mondays whenever I do the show, thank you so much for your time. It's so appreciated. And for Doa Media, I am so grateful that you agreed to come on Instagram, and do this interview with me, because I'm like totally excited for you guys. And if for those of you watching who don't know me, my name is Jacqueline Watson. I'm a realtor with Sutton Group Tower, and my office is out of Toronto. And if you have a question, a topic you'd like me to unpack further, I do this on Mondays when I'm not interviewing people. I come on and do a quick segment on the real estate market. If you want me to do a segment on your market particularly, I'm happy to do that as well. Or if there's a topic you want me to interview people, I'm happy to do that as well. So either way, thank you so much um, for joining us in this evening session with us. And once again, if you go on Instagram, you can follow doamedia.ca, and or you can just go to my Instagram and you'll see his contact in there. And hopefully, if you're a realtor watching and you have another um, um, a listing coming up, you can ask this beautiful couple to help you out with your listing. And I'm sure you won't be disappointed. Thank you so much. And until next time.
Thank you very
Bye.
much for the opportunity of being here.
Bye bye.
Bye bye, Jack.
Bye now.